Well, that sucks because I was trying to be, I was moving, and so, anyway, so there were lots of more. Turning Bibles to 2 Kings, but the reason why I'm so blown away is because this started out of God's faithfulness, and I remember Jesse and Essie were sitting in front of us at church, and we were looking for somebody to kind of take over as the whatever. What is that?
Just roll, go with it.
That is too low. That's a GoPro. That's way low, Esty. Okay, that's better. Oh, man, that could be damaging for real. You know I'm a high school principal, okay?
It's just about the word. It's just about the word.
Okay. Anyway, we have some runners at the marathon. I think they're all mile 18 right now. 18, they're past 18, so they're still alive. And so some of our faithfuls, and so they're like, please, because we're in the military, so they don't want to miss it. So anyway, but long story short, so when this is our third classroom, and when I was driving to work today, I kept thinking, God, these people are so amazing that they want to learn about you, and thank you, and I'm just so humbled that you keep coming back and letting me learn with you. And so, golly, I'm just blown away. So I saw Esty and Jesse this morning, telling them about how thankful we are for your leadership, and just so grateful for all God has done. So we're going to continue in a series called Greater, and that we just expect greater things, and that's why I want you to be here. It's not about the number, but I kept praying, come on, God, when we open that new class, let's just get 100 chairs. Let's just put them on, and I'm going to be faithful. We're going to go drag some people in just to get it. Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. We're going to get some. I know you guys are going to church, and where'd you go?
Lee.
Twice. There you are. And Esther's like, don't go to church, just stay right here. No, don't move. But we might have a few more people. And thank you all for the numbers. I got some elementary principal friends back there that I know elementary, middle, and high. They don't. High school, and there's quite a difference because elementary principals are good and right, and then high school principals are sick. So they'll tell you. So, but I'm really glad you guys are here. So in 2 Kings, we're going to continue a book that we're studying called Greater. And I'm so excited because in 2014, you were probably good, but in 2015, God is calling you to something greater. And if you don't believe that, you are in the wrong class. Because no matter what your life is like, God is calling you to be a greater version of yourself, to be better. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be the same in 2016 that I was in 15. I don't want to be the same that I was in 15 that I was in 14. And I certainly don't want to be the same that I was in 2010 or 2008. Well, it was a tough year for me. It was just a tough year. And I just remember, I just want to be better. And so that's what we were studying. We've been studying the book of 2 Kings. We've been studying this prophet named Elijah. Now, I'm not historical. That's where Scott comes in. I'm the whole application. So a lot of times I have to ask Scott, what does that mean? What's the Greek version? And what's the Hebrew meaning and all that? I'm just plain and simple, okay? Because I love the word. It was so funny. I was telling my secretary the story of Elijah this week, and she says, now she's not very active in church, and she said, where did that story come from? And I said, it came from the Bible. And she said, I've read the Bible before, and I've never read a story like that. And she said, could you just tell me the Bible? Could you just tell me the story? I mean, she was sitting on the edge of her seat, like, what's next? And I'm so excited because the Bible is full of stories like that. So here's Elijah. So there's an Elijah and an Elijah. Elijah is probably who you've heard a lot about. He was really impressive, big dude, big important guy. And the first time we meet Elijah is behind oxen. And it's in 2 Kings, or 1 Kings, I think it's the first time we meet him. And he is behind oxen. Now every day, imagine this, he gets behind oxen and he plows them. Every day. Now I don't know about you, but when you are plowing, I'm not a country girl, I like country music. I like country western clothing. I can country western dance. Oh, I mean, oops, and then that. And so every day he gets up and he looks at these plows. How many of you are country people? Okay. So when you are behind the oxen, when you're plowing, you are behind what? Okay, what is your view? Okay, so every day I would think.
I got two more back.
I said, sure, you can have my chairs. Anybody else want to leave? We're going to control Scotland. And so anyway, so every day we're looking behind these oxen. Now I want to explain this to you. So Elijah he is plowing, right, every day. And so every day he gets up. And can you imagine? I don't know if you've ever been behind oxen before, but they dump wherever they need to dump. And so here he is. So you know that there's dung all up in his nostrils. It's all in the smell. It's all whatever. And that's what he does every single day. He gets up. He gets the plows. He plows. He comes home. Hopefully he takes a shower. He goes to bed. He gets up. He does this every day. And I think what happens is he got stuck in the tyranny of the familiar. And I think that happens to you and me too. We get up. We put our clothes on. We go work out or whatever we do. We go to work. We do the work thing. We come home. We play Candy Crush because we want to get to that next level. We watch ESPN. We watch ESPN 2. We watch ESPN U and ESPN 2. We watch all these things, and then we go to bed, and we get up the next morning, and we do it all over. And God is saying, listen, I'm calling you to something greater. Because that's what happens, you guys. When you're stuck in the tyranny of familiar, you stink, and you don't even know you stink. I gave you an example last week that Scott and Tyler had reffed upwards basketball all day long. And Kaylee and I we'd done basketball. Thank you for giving me my first technical in upwards basketball. Go ahead, raise your hand. Let me see who you are. I'm just kidding. We didn't really give me a technical. We were just kidding. We're really glad you're here.
Give you a warning.
I gave you a warning. Who gets in trouble coaching kindergarten first grade girls? Me. Well, he didn't call it right, but I didn't call it on you. It wouldn't be ugly. It would be ugly again. But anyway, so we're stuck in the tyranny of the familiar, and you begin to smell, but you don't even know you stink because you're living this life. So I come home, Kaylee and I coached basketball. Kaylee and I got our nails done. She was getting ready to go back to school, wanted to do a little love gift. So we went to do that. I came home. We walked in the door. Kaylee and I both go, whoa, what is that smell? It was a terrible smell. And, I mean, it was just a rank odor. Y'all know if you have boys living in your house, it was just a rank odor. And Kaylee and I smelled so pretty because we had the lotion all over us. Oh, it just smells so pretty. We looked so pretty. And we went, ugh. And I said, what is that smell? And Kaylee, she's sniffing it out. She gets right next to the boys, and she goes, it's y'all. And Scott says, I don't smell anything. Like this. And Tyler goes, I don't smell anything either. Because they had become so familiar. And that's what happens when you and I get stuck in the tyranny of the familiar. We are so complacent and stuck and stinky, but we don't even realize it. And God is saying, I got something greater. So here he is, just a plowing along, and Elijah comes up to him, and he puts a cloak around him. And he doesn't really say anything. In other words, you're going to be my successor. Elijah is the one with the plows. Elijah comes and puts the cloak on him. And so he takes off running after him. And he says, wait, can I go back and tell my family goodbye? And Elijah says, okay. So Elijah goes back and he burns all the, he kills and slaughters all the oxen. He kills them. And he feeds everybody. Well, that's nice. But you think that's kind of a waste. When you just give them to your friends and let them continue. But here's the part that really gets me. Then after that, he burns a plow. He burns the things that he used to help to make his living. He burned it. He burned everything. I thought, that's stupid. Why would you do that? But I know why he did that. He did that because he was saying goodbye to his former life. Because let me explain something to you. If you want to live a greater life, you've got to, very first thing, you've got to burn some plows. If you want to live the life that God is calling you to be, and you want to be greater, you've got to burn some plows. So when I read that, I was like, yes, Lord, I've got to burn some plows. So God is calling me to something greater. So I'm thinking God is getting ready to call me to something really, really awesome, right? So I'm thinking, here's the plow that I'm going to burn, right? I'm waiting for God to tell me, what plow do I need to burn in my life so I can cut it here and move forward? So I'm waiting for God to tell me something amazing, right? I'm like, sell my house, right? Sell it all, move down, right? I can't sell my house so I can afford a wedding, but that's okay. And two colleges and a wedding, but whatever. It'll happen. Tell him, if we can't find the money, Kaylee, Dad can do it right here, right now. Just do it. And Austin, who has been so pure and faithful in their relationship, is like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it now. Let's do it. Let's do it. Dad like calls him Chief. He's like, Chief, let's do it. Because he's ready. He always quotes me, better to marry than burn with desire. I'm like, Austin, that's really funny, but it's not funny to the mother of their daughter. Not funny, not funny. And so I just laugh. And so I thought, God's going to call me something big. And you know what God told me to burn? You ready for this? God says, Becky, I'm getting ready to make you greater. And I'm not talking about greater like, I'm talking about a renewed, God may be calling you something greater, like selling your house, moved after, whatever. He may be calling you to a job change, maybe this year. I don't know what he's calling you to. But for me, he was calling me to a renewed sense of passion in what I'm currently doing, to doing it better. Because I don't plan to go anywhere. As far as I know, I'm still doing it. I plan to keep the same husband, same kids, same job, but to do it greater and better. And so you know what God called me to do? You know what, plow? He said, Becky, I want you to unfriend someone in your Facebook. And I said, what? And he said, not audibly, but I just knew it because I had become consumed with this family that I'd taken on. Some people take on stray dogs, I take on stray people. I had become consumed with this family, and it was unhealthy for me. It wasn't an affair or sexual or anything like that. It was just I had become addicted, consumed by this family. And I thought, that is the dumbest. You want me to unfriend them? And so I came to Sunday school a few weeks ago and I said, y'all, this is what God's called me to do. And y'all looked at me like, yeah, she probably did it. And I said, I haven't done it yet. And the class gasped. And I told you that for a purpose. I told you that because, listen, it's not easy. And when God calls you to do something, I wrestled with it for 2 weeks. Till finally I admitted to you, and then I knew I was coming. So at Sunday at church, I hurried up and deleted it. Because I didn't want to have to lie to y'all. Ridiculous. And the reason I tell you that is because why is God going to give you something really big, right, if you're not going to do what's small? What plow is God calling? What is your plow? It's whatever chains you to the ordinary. Maybe it is a TV show. Maybe it is a habit. Maybe it is a person. Maybe it is a relationship. Maybe it's a behavior. Maybe it's something in your head. What plow do you have to burn so that you can move forward? Because something is chaining you back. And before you can do anything else, you've got to burn the plow. Light a match. Set arson. I did this. I did this lesson at our staff retreat. Sorry, Ashley. I should have told you. So Ashley's getting it again, but that's okay. But this time I actually had to use scripture. And it was so funny because yesterday somebody came to me and said, "Now, where did that book come from? Where did that story come from?" It's a great book. I was like, "A Bible. It's awesome. You ought to read it." And so after he burns the plow, then there's another story. Okay, so then he takes off and he follows them. This is a really great story. So Elijah is this really great story. So then we talked about digging ditches because a group of army people get together and they're getting attacked and they're so excited because they get the rest of all they go and enlist all these armies with them. And as soon as they do, like they should be able to wipe out the Moabites without any problem. Guess what happens? Dehydration sets in. And so dehydration sets in, and so they go find Elisha like, hey, we're begging to you on the behalf of God. We want you to beg to God, please help us. Because we're thirsty. And when you're thirsty, you get dehydrated, and then when you're dehydrated, you can't think. And so here they go, and God says to Elijah, tell him to go dig ditches, and I'll bring the rain. Now, there's been no water. It's been a drought area, and they say, go dig ditches, and I'll bring the rain. And they're like, you want me to do what? It's the middle of the night, we're dehydrated, and he said, go dig ditches. And what we talked about is God is calling you to something greater. First, you've got to set fire to the flame, set fire to the plow, burn it. And then you've got to dig some ditches. And what ditches are we talking about? God's not going to sit back. Okay, listen, God's calling me to write my book, right? be a bestseller. And I'm going to plan what I'm going to wear for my book cover. And I'm going to plan what I'm going to say at my speech, my book writings. No, I'm not going to do that because God doesn't do that. He doesn't